When they took those tires off, this thing really attracted a crowd. All the nearby crew chiefs sent somebody over.
There it is.
Take a look.
We have a wreck coming off turn 2. Todd Bodine goes up in the air.
An awful chain reaction crash at lap 40. Hut Strickland got into the back of John Andretti.
Coming off turn 2, Hut Strickland got in the back of John Andretti, fighting for a position just inside the top 10. The innocent bystander, Todd Bodine, was looking for his first top 10 finish in the last 15 races. Early in the season, it looked like Bodine could have fought for a top 20 points finish, but after this bad stretch of 15 races, he had tumbled all the way down to 33rd in the driver's standings.
It really got up in the air there.
You know, but it almost looked like, here's the aftermath of it. Bodine, of course, with nowhere to go. Wow. Well, if he didn't bend the right front wheel back on that, I'll be surprised.
You know, Mike always try to figure out why it happened. It's just that. And Mike, you guys were talking about different agendas on those pit stops. Denny Hamlin took 2 tires that time. On Nemechek took 4 as Nemechek goes by Hamlin. Or tries to.
It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Here we go again, boys. And up and over goes Casey Mears.
What a day. I don't think I've ever seen. I've been coming here for 30 years. I've never seen a day like this.
That was ugly.
Casey Mears' only start in the 2005 Busch Series season did not go as planned. After Joe Nemechek was turned into him, Mears was sent sliding on his roof almost all the way to turn 1. This race had an astounding 10 cautions with 3 big ones. Only 16 of the 43 cars finished on the lead lap. At the end of the day, it would be Martin Truex Jr. who would win in dominating fashion, leading 46 of the final 60 laps.
That's amazing.
He's one of the lucky ones, Strimmy. And this could be his most nervous moments of the day.
Caution flag is back out, looks like.
Oh, hard crash. Juan Montoya.
You okay?
Boy, you don't see that often, BP. The fuel cell erupts.
Well, this is Juan's first Nextel Cup Series start. Boy, he did a good job getting unhooked and getting out of there.
Ex-Formula 1 star Juan Pablo Montoya's NASCAR Cup debut would end abruptly with less than 20 to go. After early contact with Ryan Newman gave Montoya payback and sent him hard into the turn 3 wall, causing the car to burst into flames. Montoya had raced the Busch race the day before and finished a respectable 14th.
4 wide getting into 1. Oh, we got a crash. Hard crash.
Hard impact. Bobby Labonte. Reed Sorensen, Michael Walter.
Like Joey Logano got a little piece of that too. A lot of cars involved. Ruderman even down in the grass there.
Heavy damage on Joey, and that was a very, very hard hit for Bobby Labonte.
A bad day turned worse for Bobby Labonte. After spinning halfway through the race, Labonte was caught up in the big crash with less than 20 to go. This was the theme of the season for Labonte, who had only one top 10 in the first 21 races, and then was even replaced by Eric Darnell for the final 7 races of the season.
Wide in front of Bobby Labonte, he backed off just a little bit.
Yeah, well, you got to back off somewhere down going in that corner anyways. Just you hope the guy behind you is paying attention, and David Reagan ran up on Bobby Labonte and turned him around and started all of this. See Jeff Burke.
Oh, trouble. The 10 just got in trouble with the 31. Big damage for James Buescher as they roll off the corner.
Yeah, and a lot of damage for Jennifer Jo Cobb as well. So Buescher and Jennifer Jo Cobb involved in this, the 8th caution of the night.
James Buescher was caught up by a spinning Jennifer Jo Cobb while trying to hunt down the leader, who was Kyle Busch, with pit strategy. However, this wasn't her first incident of the day. Earlier on, Jennifer was spun by Kyle Busch after not letting him by for multiple laps. After ruining Busch's chances of winning, Cobb unfortunately re-entered the race running over 100 laps down.
See, there's Jennifer Jo Cobb. Now watch when she comes down the racetrack. James committed to the bottom. He was actually on the apron. And when she came down the racetrack, he had nowhere to go.
Second right now. Trouble on the front stretch. Got Tony Raines into the outside wall. And they clip the 17 to Kenseth, and he goes across and slams the wall. Hard impact by Travis Kvapil as well. Kenseth got turned, and the car came sideways and up into the wall. There is Kvapil, who also got turned head on into the wall.
Trying to avoid a spinning Tony Raines, Travis Kvapil completely took out Matt Kenseth and sent him into the outside wall of the tri-oval. Kvapil then lost it sliding through the grass and hit the wall a ton himself. It was moves like this that made Kvapil lose his somewhat competitive ride at Robert Yates and to settle rejoining the Cup Series in late 2009 with Front Row Motorsports.
Tri-oval part, and that's what Tony Raines hit. I believe Matt Kenseth might have hit the safer barrier, but not the 28. He's down into the concrete there.
Hot or what?
Well, he's watching his race. Oh, trouble! Michael Waltrip. Oh, he gets clobbered. As Rusty Wallace had no place to go with Waltrip coming down the track right into his path. Greg Biffle, Tony Raines getting laps back from Jeff Gordon.
After a big pile-up early on that resulted in no DNFs, the first two retirements were Michael Waltrip and Rusty Wallace after this big hit. Racing Jeff Green, Waltrip just lost it, and after spinning down the track, it was inevitable that someone was going to hit him. This was in the midst of Waltrip's best season in the Cup Series, and just weeks later would win his final career race at Talladega.
With Jeff Green into turn 3 and 4.
And here comes Rusty Wallace and plows into that 15.
Wide down into turn 1 here. It's tough on these new repavement tracks to run side by side. You can see Matt Crafton there.
Up the racetrack, and there's a wreck behind him. Timothy Peters is going to slam into the wall as well. Well, the 82 goes around. That's Sean Core.
Timothy Peters right there.
There's the damage to the front end of the 17. We saw him going around.
That's our point leader.
He was leading coming into this race.
Look at all the damage to Paulie Haraka's truck, the 5.
Had a 23-point lead.
Paulie Haraka showed what he did best in his short-lived NASCAR career, making an ambitious move on Ron Hornaday and taking them both out. In a completely unrelated incident just ahead, Timothy Peters just lost his truck under Matt Crafton and sent himself into the outside wall. Enough was enough, and Paulie lost his ride after this race, effectively ending his NASCAR career.
Rock around Hornadays, he just got loose on the inside of that other truck, as we see happen so often. Paludo got a little piece of that, then he did a nice job getting through there.
Hamlin checks up just a bit and is able to continue on, but you see the damage to the front of the 17. Again, Timothy Peters coming into this race.
Hard crash. There's somebody else involved too.
Brendan gone.
Brendan gone, and one more. Easy.
While battling for position, Jamie McMurray left no room for Jeff Burton, forcing him to go into the grass and into the outside wall. It was a close call for eventual champion Kurt Busch, who beat Johnson by 8 points in the final standings. Who knows, maybe if Busch was caught up in this wreck, he could have just narrowly missed out on the championship, and we would be talking about 8-time champion Jimmy Johnson.
Jeff Burton in the 99 came back up the hill and kind of forced him up against the outside retaining wall. Yeah, Jeff, don't look at that.
And again, the caution out for the 88 car now in the wall here.
Yeah, you can tell it's going to be a long day. When you have that bead melting like that, it doesn't get better. You're just going to keep having that problem.
The 2009 Fall Martinsville race was one to forget for Dale Earnhardt Jr., who already had caused one caution. Just 40 laps after this, he blew a left front tire, bringing out another caution. He would end up finishing in 29th, dropping all the way down to 24th in points. This would go down as Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s worst season in NASCAR, having no wins, only 2 top 5s, 5 top 10s, and a dismal 25th place finish in the championship.